All right, I finally got a stove large enough to do a split ring. Damn it. So welcome to Twin Stick Garage. If you're a fan of the channel, you'll know that I've been trying to build up this 79 Kenworth W900A, just like the one used in the Smokey and the Bandit movie. And if you've been watching for a while, you'll know that I'm a bit of a purist as well, and I wanted to do period correct or movie correct split ring wheels. And it's interesting, if you pause it just right, you can see that the first truck, when he first arrives at that scene, is the 73, and it's got the rusty split rings.
Complications, you know what the complications?
But then right at the end where Bandit and Frog drive away, if you look again, there's actually silver rings. So that's the 74. So the 74 is the truck that I'm trying to replicate with this one. So I thought, okay, no big deal. I can take the rusty old rings that I had from my collection of split ring wheels and get them. I was going to sandblast them myself. I got a little sandblaster, and then I was going to powder coat them. I bought a powder coater, I don't know, a few episodes ago to do a few things on the truck. And I thought I could powder coat them silver myself and just throw them in an oven, because of course, with powder coating, you actually need to bake it at 400 degrees for like 15-20 minutes. So the guys at Highline Electrical, they were the fellows that actually wired up my shop, and they are just an awesome group of guys, especially Kevin. So he came out, he had a service bulletin to do on this panel. And when he came out, I asked him, could you run me a line and put in a plug for this stove so we could get the rings coated. And he was happy to help out. But again, I thought stoves were square, but they're rectangular, and it's just not big enough for the rings. So off I went to the old Yellow Pages, and I found a company by the name of Impact Coatings on the west end of Edmonton. And what a great group of folks they are. These guys can coat anything. Every color you can think of, anything you want to coat. Tag, I found your wheels for that haze. So check these out. They did them in anodized silver, 22 by 7.5, and look at that, even made in Canada. And they did a nice job. That's going to be perfectly movie correct.
How do you know that?
And these guys at Impact Coatings, they're awesome. They had this done in a couple days. So now that I got those rings, what I'm planning on doing is collecting up all these old wheels, the tubes, the flaps, all that new set of tires that I picked up in Ohio, throw this all on the trailer, and I'm going to head over to Cal Tire and drop it off and get them to mount all the new wheels, and then I got to zip them over to Spectrum and get them polished up. So while that's going on, I'm still waiting for the graphics guy to come. We're scheduled for about 2 weeks from now, so I figure what I'm going to do is continue working on the inside, because I can't really start bolting stuff to the outside. Well, maybe I can do some small stuff like the lights, and maybe we can get that wired up. But I'm going to finish the interior, and we'll just keep picking away at it. Because again, that Let's Go show is coming up here in September, and it's going to be real close if I get it done in time. Well, maybe not done, but at least good enough to drive. So that's what I'm going to work on today, just kind of a hodgepodge of stuff, and get this truck one step closer to being on the road. So first up, what I wanted to tackle was a little more on the buffing side. So a few episodes ago, I had bought a Milwaukee polisher and got the buffing wheels, and I wet sanded this whole truck, which was a ton of work trying to get out the orange peel and the imperfections, and it actually turned out pretty decent. But some of the viewers were commenting in that particular episode, and they're much smarter than me with this buffing stuff, and they suggested that it's not just a one and done type thing. You have to, there's stages you go through. So I had wet sanded the whole truck, and then I went with this liquid ice. It removes 1200 grit scratches and finer, and it looks pretty decent. I'm happy with the way it turned out. It was a ton of work, but it's supposed to be 3 stages. You're supposed to go to a number 2 grit and then a number 3, which is ultra fine. So I'm cheating a little. I'm skipping over number 2, and I bought a jug of this ultra fine machine polish. You see the number 3 on there. And what I'm planning to do is give it a wash, dry it down, and then we'll polish that out with the proper foam blue pad, and that should get rid of all the little remaining scratches, and hopefully any of the, because that was the other thing I was doing, was instead of holding it flat, there was times when I'd go on the edge. Again, I'm learning. People were commenting, don't do that, keep it flat. And because what happens is you get these trail marks left behind of where you were with the polishing pad. Plus you run a risk of burning through the paint. So I'm going to use the number 3. We'll keep the pad flat, and we'll try and get this paint as nice as we can before those before that vinyl wrap gets put on there. Yeah, that's a little shinier. I mean, that's a decent reflection. And it's never going to be perfect. There's still some orange peel on the side there, but if you actually look at a brand new truck, they even have a little bit of orange peel. Well, that's interesting. So this is a 2020 F250. I don't know if you can see it there. Hey, Beth. But it just kind of caught my eye in the sun how much orange peel there is on a brand new truck that's painted with a robotic arm. So I guess that shows you that black is a tough color to paint, and I shouldn't be so hard on myself with the orange peel on Snowman. All right, I'll finish doing that to the rest of the truck, and then we'll get on to something else. So next up, I wanted to install the headlights on Snowman, and I was going through my collection of headlight surrounds. Now these are the same on Kenworth and Peterbilt, so I did have a few. Most of them were pretty rusty just because they're 40, 50 years old. So I was searching through them to try and find the 2 best ones, and it reminded me of the song by Johnny Cash. He was looking for his cleanest dirty shirt. Now they're not that great, and I can get new ones, but for now I figure I'm going to try and polish out all of the tarnish from many years of weather and such. Now, of course, there's no way to fix the pitting, but where it's still decent metal, it actually shines up not too bad, so we'll make these work. So I'm just mounting the headlights in here, and I'm using the old classic bulbs just because, again, matches the movie, and they're definitely period correct. Now, if a guy was going to use this truck as a regular hauling truck, you'd probably want some sort of LED or something that you could actually see more than 10 feet in front of you. But this is just a toy truck for now, so we'll stick with period correct. Now we'll put the rings on, or the surrounds. And they didn't turn out too bad. Oh, what's going on here? There we go. Why do they not go all the way? Well, that's weird. That's kind of odd. I stole these off the Duke, but they don't actually go flush with the... Huh. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to have to go steal the ones off the existing hood, or the hood that came off this truck. Darn it, spent all that trouble polishing them up and they don't even... I mean, I guess a guy could trim these little ends down, but that's so weird. I just assumed these were all the same. All right, so who knew that the surrounds between a cab over and a conventional are just a little different when it comes to the thickness. So these obviously won't work, and the next best set I had a dent in them, so I tried to fix that. And then the rust, I just couldn't get the rust out of there in the little triangle indents. So those are the right size, but they just don't look that great. So I guess I'll put them on there for now temporarily, but I'm gonna zip over to Lesco one of these days, and I'm gonna try and get new plastic surrounds. They're not as cool as the old school metal, but they look a lot nicer, and it's the same thing I got on the Pete. So that's what we'll do. But for now, I guess we'll just leave it like this. All right, so next up I wanted to mount these. I've been saving these for a while. These are the clearance lights that go on the fender. And some of the fancier Kenworths actually had 3, but the movie truck only had 1. And I got these from Lesko. These are new old stock of the original ones with the flat front, which matches the flat front of the cab lights up there, and again matches the movie truck. You heard the legend of Jesse James. So I picked these up at Lesko. Oh man, probably a year ago. It's been a long time coming to put these on the truck. That's why you can never have enough little nuts and bolts when you're building an old truck like this. Luckily I was able to find some that would work. Now a lot of this stuff, if I do make it to the Lesko show this year, I'm just not going to have time to wire this all. It'll have to get done for next year's show. So Friday night lights for Snowman is going to be a little boring because not too many of the lights are going to work. Yep. That. Oh, that looks sharp. That's how it's supposed to look. Yeah, it's getting closer. Oh, I'm spending way too much of my Saturday with little stuff. Just taking forever, but I'm trying to get the interior put back together. Now I got to rewire this because I was lazy and just cut the wires last time. Oh man, these old trucks, the work never ends. But it's got to get done. It's got to get done. So I got the headliner in, I got my air horn, I got the radio in, I wired the speakers. So I think once I get this done, I should just about be ready to put the seats in. So it's the little stuff that might keep me from getting to the show, because this just takes forever and I'm definitely running out of time. But we'll see, fingers crossed. At least I got the trailer now. There, home sweet home. All right, let's clean out the cab. Now the nice thing is obviously these seats have already been in here, the new seats, so it shouldn't take too much work to get them in here. But there was a learning. Last time I didn't put the seat belt in first, and I regretted it. So now that the seats are out, I'll do that first and then put those in. Just figured I'd give the floor a quick wash, because easier to do obviously when the seats are out. And that's one nice thing about a rubber floor. Okay. Yeah, once the seat was in, I just couldn't get to these. I couldn't get to these bolts, so it was a bit of a fight. Oh, this movie correct seat is ridiculous. Now, if you've been following along with the build, you'll know that this, the reason this seat is like this is because the primary air tank used to be right underneath here in the cab with you. Okay, why is this not lining up with the holes? Oh, what a pain to put this seat in. So thank goodness for the invention of vice grips to hold the nut underneath. Yeah, it's probably tight. Okay, one down, 6 to go. Oh, the trucking gods are not kind to me today. Why are you so tight today? Come on. Oh, that's a tight fit. I like last weekend better. Just take LBL for a ride and go pick up a trailer. Needs a grab handle or something. Oh. Okay, the next seat should be easier than that one. Save the heaviest part of the day for last. And my back's gonna thank me for it. One air ride seat. A little bit of dust. Man, the fire in that FedEx truck sure made a lot of work for me. Where are those holes at? I gotta air up the seat to get access to the bolt holes. So what we'll do is push the airline into that little fitting, like so. And then get the compressor and hook it up to the anti-smoke valve and throw some air in the truck. But I have to say this black interior looks pretty sharp, so it's worth all the effort, I suppose. Okay, now a block of wood so the seat doesn't come down and snip off my fingers. Always a good idea. There, one seat. All right, that interior is starting to look pretty good. It's starting to look like a truck again. So I went out to the post office box there, Twin Stick Garage post office box, and there was a big box there from Amazon. And I got it home and I opened it up, and it was a stuffy, and I thought, no, this isn't for me. This got to be a wrong address or something. But then I took it out and I looked at it, and it's a Basset Hound. Can you believe that? One of the Minty fans out there sent me a Fred.
Now, Bo, I'm telling you, Fred here ain't gonna be no problem.
Well, I can see he's gonna be a major asset.
Now, there was no return address or any information on there, so I don't know who sent this to me, but thank you very much. That is so cool. So we finally got a Fred, so now that we've got the seat in there, we're gonna put Fred up on his seat. The Twin Stick Garage fans are the best. Look at that. Okay. That looks right. Oh, that is awesome. Hey, Fred. Oh, man, oh man. If I don't put the CB and the scanner on there, it's a good beer holder. Well, that was a bit of work today, but as I always say, I'm pretty happy with the way that turned out. Here, the seat up a little. Hey, Fred. Yeah, so we got the seats back in. The interior's all in. Oh, let's see if the horn works. Oh, it catches. Oh, nice. All right, well, one step closer. I don't know if it's necessarily a long way to go, but I do have a short time to get there. That Let's Go show is coming up fast, but we'll see what we can do to get there. And yeah, get the gold on the truck and then put the exhaust on and a few more things, and I think we'll almost be ready for a drive. What do you think, Fred?
Well, they said it couldn't be done. Well, that's the reason, son. That's good with Fred. We're clear.
Oh yeah, and don't ever forget, if you got it, a trucker brought it. Click the Twin Stick Garage logo to subscribe, and be sure to comment down below. I encourage you to share any thoughts, feedback, suggestions, stories, or even just a simple hello. I read and appreciate every one. And if you really want to help out the channel, head over to my Patreon, a subscription-based service that you can sign up and see videos before they're released on YouTube. I'm also going to be posting some content that you can't see anywhere else, so go check it out.